What's up, world? Wake y'all asses up. It's another episode of King of DeBerrys podcast. Look, we back at it again. First off, I want to tell everybody Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. It's 2019. I hope 2018 was great and wonderful, spectacular for all of y'all. And I know 2019 is going to be another great and spectacular year. I just want to say I apologize for the delay between, all of the podcasts. We're going to kind of touch on that a little bit later on. But I just want to apologize, for not being as consistent as I'm supposed to be with these podcasts. But, to me, this is a side thing. When I got things I need to talk about, ideas I need to get off my chest, like I want to present it to y'all. And, I just been so busy and caught up with stuff that I haven't been sharing with y'all as much as I should share. So I definitely want to start off with an apology for that. But I'm just happy to be back. I'm happy to be back talking to y'all, conversating, discussing topics. And, before I get into what I want to talk about for this episode, because this is a very personal episode for me. I kind of want to give y'all an idea of my plans on what's going forward with this podcast for 2019. One of the main things I want to do is just grow the audience, naturally, of course. But I want to grow the audience. If any of y'all out there like what I'm talking about, think it's funny, think it's insightful, it helps you through whatever, please like, subscribe, follow me, whatever, at King of DeBerrys for the Instagram, SoundCloud, and YouTube. King of DeBerrys, KingofDeberrys. Alright, so that's where you can follow me at. Just type that in. I should pull right up. There's no other King of DeBerrys. I am the King of DeBerrys. That's it. So, if you want to look for me, if you want to share, whatever like that, man, make sure y'all follow me, support if y'all feel the need to. I'm not trying to force nothing on nobody. I just want people that enjoy the content that I give to share it with friends or whatever. The second thing that I want to do, I want to definitely cover more topics. I want to be more consistent with y'all. Y'all deserve it. If y'all enjoying it, y'all deserve to keep hearing more content from me on a regular basis. And that's what I'm striving to provide for y'all, So I just want to be more consistent and covering more topics. And then, have more guests on. The last podcast I had my boys, Ken and Mike, man, they were so crazy. That won't even all of like what we was talking about. We just decided to start recording, but that won't even all of what we talked about, man. That was a good time. That was a real fun podcast we did. But I want to have more guests on at some point, where we talking and cover topics and things like that, man, and continue to have fun with this podcast. Sometimes we're gonna cover serious topics. Sometimes we're gonna joke around on stuff. It'd be crazy, whatever. But, the end goal is just to have fun, get these thoughts and opinions that we have in our minds, or I have in my mind, and get it out to the people and just hope they receive it. And if they don't, oh, fucking well, it is what it is. But I just enjoy expressing myself. And that's what this podcast is about, my platform to express myself. So, oh boy, it's time to get into it, man. 2018. And just to give y'all a little heads up, man, this might be a kind of long podcast because I definitely got some stuff I got to get off my chest, things I need to talk about or whatever, man. But 2018 was the most trying, toughest, craziest, up and down roller coaster of a ride and the best year of my life. And it's been so much stuff that happened over the course of this year. Like people that come in contact with me pretty often don't even know about. Only my closest friends and people that I'm constantly in contact with really know what's going on with me. And I'm a real private person, but I think the things that I went through, like other people can learn from it and benefit from me talking about it and putting it out there. So, like I'm kind of throwing myself out there a little bit, but it is what it is. Somebody I think could benefit from it if they hear what I'm talking about, and somebody can relate. And that's, if I can relate to one person, that's all this about. But, kind of starting off, 2018, it started off with my uncle passing away. And my uncle was like a second father to me. Like, he really was. Like, I felt more comfortable talking to my uncle about stuff than I did my own dad. Because my uncle was around more than my own dad was. As far as, like, my dad was always in my life. He wasn't like no deadbeat or nothing. Him and my mom was married for a long time, but my dad just worked a lot and was always out and about. And my uncle was always around and was accessible to me for me to talk to. And so, when he passed, that's part of the reason, that is the reason why I'm a Presbyterian now. And for a long period of 2018, I was a vegetarian, because he battled with diabetes, weight issues, and things like that. And I seen him fight that battle with, not being able to control his diet. And then on top of that as well, my dad had strokes and stuff like that at an early age of 44. So, like, those two things made me decide it was time for me to change my diet. But when my uncle passed, that's what really made me be like, you know what? Even though, like, I'm not no fat guy or nothing like that, I'm a skinny dude for real. By that time, I was about 5'10", 5'11", and was 190. But I was working out. But to me, it was like, man, I can't control my diet, and I don't want nothing having control over me that I can't control myself. And so when he passed, like, that was a wake-up call for me to, like, start changing my diet and things like that. But the biggest thing, man, was like, it was like a father figure that passed away. And, shout out to all my family out there, especially my cousins that was their real dad, their actual dad. And I know it was tough for them, man. It was tough for my whole family, because my uncle was like, he was the light of the family. He suffered. He had some things in his past that he battled with, but he was the light of the family, man. He was the joy to be around. Everybody wanted to be around my uncle. So he passed like right around New Year's Day. So that's like kind of like how I started my New Year's off. And then on top of that, the day before my birthday was his funeral. So, it was dealing with that and stuff like that, man. So that's how my 2018 started off. So it was already kind of tough. And then at that time, my wife, she was dealing with some health issues and things like that, and the doctors couldn't tell her what was going on, and it was just a lot going on at the beginning of the year. So, dealing with my wife trying to get back healthy, and working, and raising a daughter, and then losing a guy that's like your father figure, man. It was a lot to deal with at the beginning of the year. And it was just tough. And to kind of go back a little bit further, not even go back further, what ended up happening over the course of the year, the other major event that happened was that me and my wife ended up separating. And we still are separated with the plan on divorce, which is probably inevitable. Like, we're going to be divorcing. But to kind of go back, because that's jumping from one extreme to another, like, hey, she was sick and da-da-da, and you trying to help her feel better, how y'all end up divorcing. Honestly, it go back to me. I take 100% responsibility for where my marriage is and is ending up. I take 100% responsibility. Now, I know it's not all my fault. I know she has her role in playing in it too. It's never no one person's fault, but as you get older and you mature, man, you realize the only things you got to control is yourself. Yeah, that's the only thing you can control, and no matter what my wife did, I was the man of the household, and if I don't have a good understanding of how my wife is feeling or what's going on in my household, like, that fall back on me. That falls all the way back on me as a man. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like and that's part of the other reason I wanted to put this podcast out and to throw that out there, man. It's a lot of us men are not out here like really tending to our women. You know what I'm saying? We not. It's not just about providing. And a lot of guys gonna fight me on this. Some women might fight me on it or whatever. But you say, oh, you providing, you not out cheating, because I wasn't cheating. I want to throw that out there. Like, I didn't cheat. But you was providing and you didn't cheat and stuff. They should be happy. Da da da. No, it's more than that. Like, I understand that now, as I am becoming a fully mature man now. Like, I understand. Yeah, you could provide and give a woman every materialistic thing they want. And I wasn't even doing that. Like, I made sure we had a nice house, we had decent cars, bills and stuff was paid for. But other than that, we was broke. And it's not I wanted to be broke. I was out. I had businesses that I was trying to do and then working a job and stuff like that. But, when somebody keep telling you, yeah, we're going to make it, we're going to do something, we're going to do it, and you don't follow through on your promise as a man, like, that wear thin in the relationship. So that was part of the issue. That was part of the issue right there. But to take it back, I didn't handle my responsibilities to make sure my wife was taken care of physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. I didn't do that. And my wife ended up getting sick, and we couldn't figure out what was going on with her and things like that. Like, it was a total chaos. And then that's when, like, the real division started happening because it's like she didn't feel comfortable coming to talk to me about stuff. I couldn't understand where she was coming from. I couldn't understand why she couldn't just get over it, because no doctors found nothing. So my thing is like, yo, this probably all in her head. That was my thinking. So I'm like, yo, you gotta get your mind together. That's all that is, and whatever. But as time went on, she actually started to feel better, and we had some issues going on in our house where we had some mold, and she asked me to take care of it. And, I was kind of dragging my feet on it because I'm like, man, it's not no big thing. And come to find out, she was highly allergic to mold. And that's part of the reason why she wasn't feeling well. So she ended up having to move out the house. And that's where everything started, because we had that split. We was no longer under the same house, and she started feeling better. And she was away from me, and we won't spend as much time and stuff. So, that was a real tough time. And then, as any woman would after a while, she was just like, damn, I'm away from him and I feel better. I'm happier. I don't feel like I got this controlling person over me, which I was partially controlling. And I didn't mean to be, but you understand it's certain ways to say things that you say it one way, it sounds controlling. You say it another way, you sound, caring and things like that. Instead of saying, why'd you do this? Be like, hey, have you tried this? Or have you done that? It's just little subtle differences in just how you talking to people. And I'm telling you, y'all, like, I could not fathom me thinking the way I am now a year ago or 2 years ago or whatever. Like, I could not fathom thinking it. Like, I would have been like, yo, this girl is crazy. When she told me she wanted to split with me, I'm like, what the hell wrong with her? Like, I do everything. I do everything I can do for her. And she's sitting here saying this, like, yo, you ungrateful. You this and you that. And da 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 da. And then after a while, it's like, damn, why you want to leave me? And then it's like, I start feeling bad. I start crying and stuff. We could work through this and da 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 da. And no, don't leave me. What about our family? And da da da. I'm gonna tell you, any guys that's in separated right now, in the beginning stages going through a rough patch and your woman is talking about leaving, bro, don't beg her. Do not beg her. Do not beg her. I'm telling you from experience, because I begged, and it only made stuff worse, because it make you look weak in their eyes. Part of the reason why most women leave is because they don't think they got a strong man. It come down. That's what it come down to. They don't believe in their man. That's it. They don't believe he can make the changes that's necessary for them to feel comfortable, or they feel like they don't believe he's strong enough to take care of the household. And it probably was a little bit of both in my situation, and she had every right to be, because I didn't understand. And you know what? I used to beat myself up and blame myself, but honestly, coming from what I seen from between my parents and stuff, the only thing I knew was to go out and provide. My parents weren't affectionate. My parents didn't. I could probably count on my hands, on one hand, how many times I saw them kiss, and then on two hands, how many times I seen them hug. And from the age of 6 to I left the house at 19, I probably count on two hands how many times I seen my parents hug. Like, they didn't show no type of affection, and that was good back in the older days. Like, women tolerated that. Like, they could hang in there. But fellas, in this new generation of women, bro, ain't too many women gonna be sitting around dealing with that. We got divorce rate at a high level because people are not willing to stick through it. They not willing to stick through it. You know, and they not wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be better if people was more willing to fight for their relationship and try to make things work. But if they don't want to make it work, hey, you know, that's fine too. It is what it is. You know, everybody deserves happiness. And to go back to my situation, you know, when she told me that she wanted to divorce, or she didn't love me anymore, or things like that, like, it broke me down, man. It break you down. It break you down, especially when you truly love somebody, and it just kind of it didn't. I'm not saying it didn't come from out left field, because she always dropped little hints. And fellas, if you out there listening, bro, I'm doing this for my guys out there, like the guys out there that's in great relationships, the ones that's in tough relationships, the ones that's separated and trying to get their woman back, or the ones that's divorced and trying to move on. Like, this podcast right here is geared towards all of y'all. Cause the ones that's in a good relationship, I want y'all to listen and don't make the same mistakes I made. Like, do not make those mistakes. Cause you want to make sure you got a good, healthy relationship. Make sure for the people that's in good relationships or just starting relationships or whatever, you gotta make sure you got a good, solid foundation. You gotta, and then even before that, you gotta go back to my first podcast. Learn to love yourself. Learn to set boundaries for the men and the women. Like, you gotta have boundaries, man. If you don't have boundaries, people gonna walk all over you, bro. All day and night, they just gonna walk all over you, and they not even gonna care. You gotta have boundaries. You gotta learn to love yourself, and then you can learn to love others unconditionally. Cause you could understand whatever they do is what they do. Even married, even though y'all move as one, y'all one unit, you know, y'all split everything 50-50 or whatever, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, they're a separate person. The things they do, people try to reflect it on you, but it's not about you, it's about that person. If you do something, you go out and do something, people try to reflect it on the marriage or on the other person, but really it's all about you. It's you, the person that did that. You the one that did that. So it got nothing to do with that. But you got to build relationships on solid foundations, man. You got to set traditions. You got to set time aside for your family, bruh. Or sis, whoever listen. You got to set time aside for your family. And that's probably the biggest place where I messed up at, is that I did not set aside time for my family, other than just come in the house, sit down, and we watch TV. Like, me and my wife really didn't communicate, and she tried, man. She tried. And that's why, like, I'm not mad at her or anything. Like, she's a beautiful person. She's a beautiful woman. And at the end of the day, like, I want nothing but for her to be happy going forward with her life. It's some other things that kind of conspire between us. We had some ups and downs, and we had some situations that happened. But at the end of the day, man, I love her. I love her unconditionally, and I want her to be happy, and I want to be happy most of all, though. And I'm not going to be with somebody that ain't going to be happy with me, because I know how amazing I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how great of a catch I am, and I know how many women out there will want a guy like me. So I'm not going to fight over even if it is my wife. I'm not going to fight to try to make somebody, love me or care about me the way I feel like I should be cared about. It is what it is. And she did the same thing. And that's why I got respect her for what she did. But it all come back down to, you gotta build relationship. You gotta build your relationship on a good solid foundation. I don't know how y'all decide to build your foundation. It could be based on, like, you know what, we're gonna have date nights once a week. We're gonna have family time every night. With our children, we're gonna have study time for our children. Like, you gotta have things like that in place that bring y'all together. Cause there's so many things in this world that's trying to separate a family, man. That's trying to get in, man. The devil gonna try to find every single little nook and cranny he can to get up in there and separate the family. And it happened. It happened with me. I'm telling y'all. Like, I'm doing this. I'm not putting my business out there for people to make fun of me and to laugh at me or anything like that. I'm putting my business out there because I want to try to help other people that's in my situation, or to help people to keep from getting in my situation. So, man, make sure y'all, before you get married, it's best to sit down with a marriage counselor. She told me that too, and I didn't listen until we was about to get a divorce. And then of course, we as guys, we wired to, like, wait till things then fell apart to try to pick stuff back up. Like, it's not until the women are about to leave we'll be like, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. Like, it's a shame we gotta be like that sometimes, but it is what it is. But go to marriage counseling or some type of counselor, whatever, or y'all come to some type of agreement. Y'all get an understanding of each other before you get married. Because once you get married, I don't know what it is about signing them documents, man. It seems like not things change, but it get real. It's like it's really real, and you deal with real life stuff after that. So just have a good foundation, But to get back to my story or whatever, me and my wife separated for a little while, and then I need to touch on this too. When you're married and then you start going through a divorce, especially when you got kids, you're not just losing your husband or your wife, which is tough enough as it is. Because me and her, to a lot of people, it might not sound like a long time, but we was going on 6 years. But you got to think, 6 years, this was my best friend. I was her best friend. You losing your best friend. But then you take on top of that, you got a child that's involved. And a lot of people, and I hear this too, a lot of people say you should stay in it for the child. And I used to be one of those people. But then I thought back on my childhood and the stuff that went on between my parents. And I used to wish they would separate. Cause they were just so, it felt like it was no love there. I was like, man, why are they still here? Especially once I got a little bit older, and like I understood what like liking somebody was. I like, damn, I don't even think my parents like each other sometimes, let alone love each other. So it's like, if you decide to stay in it, that's great. I'm a avid supporter of keeping, both parents in the household, and you could try to find a way to work through it. But if you're gonna stay there, you gotta make sure you set, what kind of example are you setting for your kids though? Are you gonna set the example that, oh, well, I'm gonna just hang around here even though my husband is out cheating on me all the time, or I'm gonna just stay and hang around here and my wife is cheating on me all the time? Like, the kids see that and they grow up and they think that's how it's supposed to be. And I'm telling y'all, because that's exactly what happened to me. Almost every woman I've been with then said I'm the most unemotional, emotionally disconnected person that they know. And it's because of what I grew up in. I'm not I wasn't the whole hands type, the huggy, the kissy face and all that. That wasn't me. I didn't see that growing up. So that wasn't natural to me. But now, me as a man and growing and maturing and seeing and experiencing different things, man, like, I feel like I'm a very emotional and affectionate person now. Now, who I am now, because of what I've been through. I had to go through this to become the type of man that I really wanted to be all along. You gotta go through something to get something. Like, nothing comes to you for free. So, but to go back to the other point I want to make in me talking about this, I was in a very, very dark place. A very dark place, man. Because, like I said, not only do you lose your so-called best friend, and I know my wife was in a dark place too. Like, we both was in a dark place. But it's like, you lose your best friend, and then on top of that, you think about, dang, I'm gonna be losing my child. You wake up, you get so used to waking up every day and seeing your beautiful daughter's face, or your beautiful son's face, or your kids' faces. You get so used to that, and then the fact that that can be taken away from you, like, just break your heart. Like, it really break your heart. And man, I was in some dark places, and I felt like I tried to do everything I could to get it back, and she trying and I'm trying, and it's not working. It's not working. And I remember, man, it was sometimes the thought of losing my family, man. I remember I used to drive home sometimes, and I'd be driving and I see a light pole, and I'd be like, man, it's so easy just to cut this wheel just a little bit and hit that pole, and people think it's an accident. Like, I was there. I was there, man. I was really there. Because all I know is family. My parents been married since I was a little kid, like 6, 8 years old. That's all I knew. Family, the most important thing to me. The most important thing to me. And so the fact that, like, my whole family unit, the reason I got married is about to possibly be taken from me. It's like, man, I didn't know what to do. And it's like, man, just cut this wheel just a little bit, man. And it wasn't that I wanted to die. And because we end up going to marriage counseling. And then after that, it's like I just started going to therapy one-on-one. And I remember I told my therapist this. And she was like, your thought, it wasn't that you wanted to die. Because I didn't want to die. It was like you just wanted the pain to go away. And that's what it was. The pain of, like, losing everything I felt like I worked so hard for, it felt overbearing. It felt overbearing. And it's just like, but the thing that kept me from doing it was, first off, like, I'm not no weak nigga, excuse my language. Like, Paul, you ain't no weak nigga. Like, toughen the fuck up. That was one thought, but the first thought that jumped in my head was my daughter. And the fact that, like, I cannot put my daughter's life in another man's hands. Like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. Even me being around part-time or whatever, it would end up being, that's better than me not being around at all. And so it's like I had to kind of get that through my head, and like work through that. But I say that because I know it's other guys out there that's going through similar situations, man, and I feel the same way I feel, and I just want to let y'all know, like, it's hope out here, man, and I'm so passionate around because of what I've been through, and then like where I am now, because I went through all of that. It's like I'm in just like a better space, and I feel like as a man I've grown in every single area of my life, because when you get broken down to the ground floor to nothing, and then it's time to start rebuilding yourself up. But that rebuilding part is the best part, because you get to rebuild to who you want to become. It's like everything I thought I was, it got shattered. I thought I was unemotional. No, I just never was taught how to be emotional. I had to teach myself through therapy, through reading, through, doing more emotional and affectionate things and stuff like that. Like, I had to learn how to do that. It's a lot of us out here, we say, oh, we're not affectionate, or, we don't know how to show affection and things like that. Yeah, you don't know because nobody ever taught you. Like, if you don't see people giving hugs, you're not going to think about giving hugs. But when you go out here and you start putting yourself out there and you start reading, or like researching, or just start, you know what? It's not going to hurt me to give somebody a hug. Just start giving hugs. And then after a while, it just becomes second nature and it becomes natural to you. And it's like, I just been working on this stuff. Shoot, man, like, it'll almost be in April. So this is January of 2019. And about April of 2019, April, May, like, I would have been separated for about a year. So this has been going on for a while. And it's like, I've been working on myself. When you go through a separation, you gotta, man, fuck another guy, fuck another girl. Don't focus on that. Do not focus on that. You gotta focus on yourself. Because if you focus on another person during that time, you just gonna end up in the same exact situation. It's gonna be like you, that little rat on the wheel. Because what's gonna happen is, all that time and attention you need to be spending on yourself, you're going to spend that on another person, and then they're going to fuck around and do the same thing. Don't do it. Don't do it. It doesn't matter what the other person is doing. It doesn't matter if your husband is messing around on you. It doesn't matter if your wife is out there messing around on you. Like, you got to focus on yourself, and you got to work on yourself so you can become the best person that you could be. Now, I can't tell y'all how to work on yourself. Like, that's for y'all to figure out. But I know for me, I did a bunch of reading. Dang, I don't even got the book with me. But my therapist gave me a lot of books to read, a lot of people to follow. I'll make sure I put the book in the little the description down here when I post this. I put the book on there, especially for the guys. It talk about like the 4 areas that a man needs to work on to become a man. And I think it was consistency. What was some of the other ones? Like follow through. It's a good book. I can't remember it right now. But like reading books, doing research online, and then thinking about like, what do I really want? Like, what do I really want to, like, if I was to look myself in the mirror and say, and describe the person that I'm looking at in the best way possible and what I wanted that person to be, that's why I just started writing that stuff down. I just started writing who I want to be, the type of person I want to be, the type of money I want to make, the type of look I want to have, things like that, cars, all that. Like, I just went in and I just started rebuilding my life. And ever since then, like, I feel amazing. I went from feeling like damn near killing myself to like feeling like I'm the shit. And it was a long, tough process. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy, and it's not gonna happen overnight. And I'm still working on myself. I'm not fully there yet. But around the time I started doing this podcast and started getting my feelings and stuff out, and then on the other podcast, you still hear me say wife and stuff like that, because we was trying to figure it out, and things like that. So until otherwise noted, like, look, I'm moving as like we husband and wife, but we were still working on we were still trying to figure stuff out. But we was not in a good place then. But I still moved and respected her as my wife. And still now, like, I know we heading towards divorce, but until the papers are signed, like, I still say wife, but we just don't interact like husband and wife now. But I still respect her enough to say, yeah, that's my wife or whatever, you know. We are what we are right now. But she's an amazing woman, and like I'll never dog her out or anything like that, especially out in public. You know, I done said some stuff behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? But I don't be too disrespectful. But out in public, man, I show her nothing but the utmost respect. And but I wanted to share this podcast because I wanted people to know where I've been through, where I came from, and then where I'm heading, and like how I overcame it, because I want other people out there to know that, yeah, you know, your wife could be cheating on you. You know, your husband could be cheating on you. And I did this a lot for the guys, because I want the guys to understand, man, like, you know, you gotta open up to your woman, man. You gotta open up to your woman, or you gonna always run the risk of losing her. You either lose her because she just get tired of just feeling alone, feeling like you don't care, or she gonna find somebody that does it for her, and she go run off with that person, and then you gonna be feeling bad then and trying to play catch up. Like it's not easy, fellas, man. It's not easy. It's a lot that's put on our backs. You know, but the thing I can say, man, you gotta open up with your woman, and you gotta learn to lead a woman and not control her. I've been told throughout all my relationships, like, I'm unemotional and I'm controlling. Them probably the two worst things you can hear as a man if you trying to build a lasting relationship. You don't want to hear you controlling, and you don't want to hear you're unemotional. If you hear those two things, or you're not affectionate, you hear those things, you need to start doing some work quick, fast, in a hurry. If this is the person you want to possibly spend the rest of your life with. If it's not, don't worry about it. But if you care and you really love this person, you gotta make some changes. Because if you hear you controlling, you hear you're not affectionate, or you're not caring, them the two things that run women off like crazy. Run them off like crazy, especially when you get in a relationship. They get tired of that. They get tired of that quick, fast, and a hurry. I'm telling you from experience. And it's just tough, man. But I just want to let all the listeners out there know, like, you know, if you're going through a tough time, man, keep your head up. Stay strong, man. I just told y'all the point that I was at, man. Feeling like I'm going to lose my family. I'm going to lose my wife, my best friend. You know, I'm losing half of a family. The relationships I built with her family and stuff like that, man. Like, it was enough to push me over the edge. But you know what? I faced the fear. I looked that fear in the eye of possibly losing my family. And I was like, you know what? Instead of worried about losing my family, I'm going to better myself. I bettered my relationship with my daughter. Since we started doing the separation, I feel like my relationship with me and my daughter is A1. It ain't got so much better, because I got, you know, some of the time I had that I was spending with my wife, I just reverted everything onto my daughter and invested in my daughter and myself. And it's been so amazing, man, the relationship that I built with my child. And for the people that's going through, you know, a separation, divorce, you know, in a tough relationship, man, you take that energy, that negative energy, and convert that to positive energy. And if you have kids, put it into your kids, or put it into your business, or, you know, put it into your job or whatever. You just take that energy, that negative energy, and turn that into some positive energy to put it into something else. All that anger and frustration, go to the gym and work that shit off. Punch the punching bag. You know, you could cuss them out and punch at the punching bag. You dumb motherfucker. Cheating ass bastard. Da 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 da. man, take that energy and put it towards something positive, and then watch how much your life end up getting blessed after that. Cause my life been blessed since I started working on myself. The relationship that I built with my daughter, the bond that I feel like I always had that father daughter bond, but since the divorce, man, that's my buddy. And I'm not trying to divert. You don't want to divert energy, turn your, in some weird way you turn your daughter into your girlfriend. Like, people do stuff like that. Like, they start going overboard. But it's just like, I just worked on building a better relationship with my daughter, and it's just like, man, it's just so amazing, man. Like, I almost bring a tear to your eye. You think about like the love that this person has for you. Cause there was some time she hugged me when I was feeling down, and she just come and give me a hug, and it just picked me up. It's like she knew when to give me a hug. Like, she was connected with me, and I feel like I'm connected with her, and it's just so amazing. But if you're going through tough times, it might not even be a divorce, like it, and when you think about it, you're like, damn, man, I'm losing my family and da da da. But there's people out there, they wives die, they children die. Like, when you put stuff in perspective, you're like, damn, man, it's tough, but like, it's worse things out there that can happen. At least my wife is still alive. I could talk to her, I could say hi to her, I could check on her, make sure she's good. All right, cool. My child's still alive. Luckily right now, all of my immediate family and everything is still alive. Like, you put things in perspective, you realize it's not that bad. It's tough, but it's worse things out there that can happen. So you put this stuff in perspective, you face the fear, and you work on yourself constantly. You invest in yourself constantly. You spend time with yourself and things like that. And then you gotta have people you could turn to. Luckily, man, I got some dope friends and my family. I was able to turn to. I could tell them every single thing that was going on. Like, they know. My friends, my family, like, a lot of them know like the full story of everything that's going on. Like, they know it all. And it's like, I got good people that was like, hey, man, we here for you. Whatever decision you want to make, man, you got to do that, man. Don't worry about what people think, blah, 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 blah. Like, luckily I got people that just care about what they feel, not what they feel is best for me, but they care about me emotionally, physically, and then whatever decision we make, we rock with you. They do that. So it's good to have people like that. It's good to talk to somebody. Like I said, I talked to my therapist, man. I got the wonderful Anita Stoutmeyer. I'm gonna put her tag down here in the bio section of this as well, so you can follow her as well. She got this thing called the Better Love Movement. She is amazing. She is really amazing. So I tag all this stuff down here in the bio section as well. Y'all make sure y'all go follow her. She does a great job. She talk about male masculinity, like becoming a man, like you stand firm. And becoming a man doesn't mean you dictate stuff. It's just you say what your boundaries are, and you stay on those boundaries. Like, she details a lot of good stuff, and I learned a lot from her. And I'm really thankful for her. So I put her information down there. Y'all make sure y'all go follow that. But then the last thing, man, before I kind of wrap up with everything, like, I'm located in the Richmond, Virginia area. For the guys out there that's going through a situation, man, it was so tough for me, because it's like I look for like support groups, or people that been through what I've been through, man, especially African Americans. It's like, dang, I could not find nothing in my area for the kind of, somebody that I could talk to, or a support group that I could go to kind of like help me through everything. It's like I had to go through it alone, and it was tough. It was real tough. I told you where my mind was at. And it's like, I want to help people. So what I want to do is I want to start a support group for men that's going through separations, divorce, or that's in like tough relationships that seem like it's on the brakes. Like I want to get together, maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks. We get together, we just sit down, we discuss our situations, what we going through, how we feeling, like where we at mentally and emotionally and things like that. And then, I'm not no therapist or nothing, but we kind of just talk through everything, man. And it'll be a no judgment zone. Like we can get real raw. If you want to tell everything that's going on, like it's a no judgment zone. And I just really want to help people, man, because I would like to try to help people avoid what I went through. And if I can't help them avoid what I went through, help them not, help pull them out the dark hole that they in. Like that's what my goal is. So anybody that's interested, anybody that want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at kingofdeberries@gmail.com. You can shoot me an email, or you could give me a call, preferably a text with your name and how you heard about me. You could text me at 804-386-3747. That number again is 804-386-3747, and just shoot me a text and just be like, hey, I heard the podcast. I'm definitely down to do the support group. If you're in the Richmond area or if you're somewhere around that location, just shoot me a text or email. The email again, if you decide to email, is kingofdeberries@gmail.com. So you can send me an email there. As well. But I really I'm just trying to help people. That's my goal that's one of my goals and part of my mission statement of 2019 is just to help people. I don't expect anything out of return. It's free of charge, It's just, I want to kind of get an idea of how many people be willing to do it. Then we can set up like a date and a time and then a location and just kind of go from there and see what happens. But I want to get people together, man. It's all right for us as guys to share our feelings and our emotions, man. We go through stuff and we keep things bottled up, man, and we really don't have to. We really don't have to. So yeah, man, I think this been going on for long enough. I feel good. I was a little nervous about doing this podcast because whenever you put yourself out there like this, it kind of gets tough. You're afraid to get judged or whatever, but I feel good, man. I feel like I'm doing the right thing as far as, I'm saying this because I really genuinely want to help people. I'm not just saying this because I don't want nobody to feel bad for me. Like, I don't feel bad for myself. I'm happy I went through what I went through. I'm happy I went through what I went through. I cannot explain. If I didn't go through what I went through, I would be acting the same way I used to act. And I keep repeating the cycle. And it's like, it's time for somebody in my family. All the men in my family been divorced or separated or whatever. And I fall in line with that now. But far as like, I learned from it. All the other guys, they didn't learn. I'm learning from it. And I know I'm going to be a way better person. I'm definitely a way better father. And then, in the future, I don't plan on getting married again. But if I did, I know I'd be a better husband. But I know I'm going to be a better spouse to somebody else. So, like I said, man, I just want to thank y'all. Y'all are so amazing. I'm so grateful to have y'all as my listeners and my friends, really. So 2019 is going to be great for all of us. It's going to be amazing. But like I said, man, for the fellas out there that's going through it, man, make sure y'all hit me up. We'll try to set something up. We'll try to get something together. For the people that's not in this area that might be listening, if you're interested, still hit me up. But I'm going to see if I can try to find something else to get to people that's not in the area. Maybe I'll do like a recap of like what I learned from each, sit down and share it and do a YouTube video or something like that. But we'll figure out how to get to the people that's outside the Richmond area, because I know at some point we're going to have some listeners outside Richmond area that need help too. But if you need to, shoot me an email, man. I'll try my best to shoot like an email or something to kind of that help, or give my thoughts to try to help as well. So, if you can't make it out, you can always send an email, and I'll try to send an email back, and try to say what I can to help better your thinking and help you out the hole or whatever that you in, because you don't gotta be in there. It's your choice to be in there, and we just gotta choose to make a decision to get out. So, like I said, I just want to thank y'all so much. I love y'all so much, man. I love all my listeners, all the people out there that's caring and sharing and that's just trying to better themselves, man. I love all of y'all. So, like I said, this is another episode of King of DeBerrys podcast. I want to thank y'all so much. Look, this has been a great episode. Everybody keep your head up, stay positive. Everything gonna be alright. We gonna be good. We gonna be good. We Gucci, alright? So look, y'all take care. Y'all have a good night. Peace.